Okay, right. We've been having a massive discussion on Twitter. There's been about 6, 7 of us, and we're all theorising the Book of Rao, how it arrived on Earth, when it arrived on Earth, and all that sort of stuff, and how it eventually got in Martha Kent's hands and then was given to Clark. Now, everyone is stating or believes that Jor-El hid it in the farm when he first arrived in Smallville back in I think it was season 2 or 3, but the episode Relic. Now, me personally, I believe that maybe he didn't, because he was keeping a journal of what he was doing on Earth and everything, and because he was involved with Lana's grandmother or great-grandmother, was it grandmother, great-grandmother, or niece or auntie or something like that, but one of, Lana's distant relative, basically. He decides not to take the journal back to Krypton, because that's what he was supposed to have done, but he puts it in the cave instead. Okay, now if at any point in Relic he did have the Book of Rao in his possession, the question would be, why would he have it in his possession in the first place? I mean, is he a religious person anyway, that he would keep something as important as the Book of Rao on him at all times? Did Jor-El, or did his father say, here Jor-El, take this with you, keep it with you, or keep you safe, kind of thing, all that sort of stuff? I don't know, things are just suddenly going in my head about that. So maybe he did hide it. Let's say he did hide it the first time he arrived, okay? Then in Kandor, in season 9, he returns, goes straight to the farm, and goes and checks where said item is hidden. If it's already there, was he just checking to see that it was still there? If so, what was he going to do with it? Let's say he was checking it was there, but then took it. Okay, if he takes it, then Tess captures him, interrogates him, finds out that he's got it on him, then keeps it for himself. Okay, now just think about that particular part where Tess interrogates Jor-El, and then Jor-El is captured by Zod, and then when Clark meets Jor-El, he's all beaten up and eventually he dies. Okay, think about that bit for a second. Now, after all that, we come to Hostage. Somewhere between Kandor and Hostage, Tess somehow got possession of the Book of Rao. Okay, some guys are believing that it could be that she piggybacked on the servers of Watchtower and saw the footage as well, probably during Persuasion. Then some point in Escape was when she then took the Book of Rao, because obviously Clark, Chloe, Lois and Oliver all went off on their lovely little romantic weekend during Escape. And then come to Hostage, Martha eventually interrogates Tess and gets the Book of Rao off her. Okay, now we go back to Kandor. We go back to Jor-El dying in Clark's arms. Now we try to figure out who was it that pretty much brutally beaten Jor-El in that state. At first we were thinking, well, it's got to be Zod, because Zod was the one who was pretty much punching him in the face and everything. However, we then later find out, and I've completely forgotten which episode it was, I cannot remember now, but we later find out, was it Conspiracy? No, it wasn't Conspiracy, it was way before that, wasn't it? Yeah. But we later find out that Alia, okay, the woman who came back from the future to attack Clark and Xavier, who's also part of Zod's army, was confessed to Zod that she killed Jor-El. Yeah, okay, so there's that. Now, why would Alia kill Jor-El? Did she know that he had the Book of Rao in his possession? If she did Tess eventually get it off her? Again, all these theories are all twisted. There's plots within plots, basically, okay? So, yeah. So that's that, basically. But here's my take on it. I've just gotten a text message, but here's my take on it anyway. Okay? I still firmly believe that when Jor-El first arrived in Smallville, in Relic, he did not hide. There's no way he would have hidden the Book of Rao. There's no way he would have had in his possession that early on anyway. Okay? But I think it was when he arrived during the episode of Kandor was when he had the Book of Rao with him. Think about it, right? He created the orb. He fused the orb with blue kryptonite. Why would he fuse it with blue kryptonite? Why not just leave it as normal, therefore allowing the Kandorans to have their power whilst on Earth? Why fuse it with blue kryptonite? Because he knew that people like Zod would want to take power and control over a planet as primitive as Earth. Okay. Second of all, he would have to have had that Book of Rao with him at the time that he arrived out of the orb to put a stop to whatever Zod might be planning. Okay. But because he was killed, he had no other choice but to try and hopefully confront Clark or somehow speak to someone who might understand where he's coming from. Therefore, he bumped into Chloe, so maybe Chloe might know something, but we know that Chloe doesn't. All that Chloe knows was that he was putting something into the North Wall. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, not in Relic, definitely in Kandor. Tess somehow got hold of this footage that he had hidden it, got hold of the Book of Rao, kept it for herself for all this amount of time until Martha Kent arrived. So that's my take on it. Okay, we've actually asked the writer of the Kandor episode, Al Septine, if that's his name, Al Septine. Can't really pronounce his surname, but you know the guy. We're waiting for his answer. We're waiting for his confirmation. But so far we've got two theories. One, did Jor-El leave it in Relic? And when he came back in Kandor, did he confirm that it was still there? And did Tess interrogate him and steal it from him during that point? Or did she piggyback on the servers at some point afterwards, eventually found the footage, then go to the farm, then take the Book of Rao? My take on it, it was in Kandor that he would have had the Book of Rao in his possession, hid it in the farm during that episode. Tess somehow again either interrogated him or piggybacked on the Watchtower servers, got hold of the Book of Rao and had it in her possession up until hostage when Martha was the one who confronted her, took it away from her, and then Clark confronts Martha. Martha then hands it back to Clark. Oh my god. There's a lot to think about, people. So I'm going to leave it there. Once it's been confirmed by the writer himself, I will let you all know. Thank you.